2 Tesla charged chimps is an achievement in Balloons Tower Defense 6, where you need to complete a game of chimps using just 2 towers. Today we're going to be doing this with the Sentry Champion and the Perma-Spike, because in Update 48, both of these towers have been given some buffs. Well, Deadly Spike has received a nice buff. Rather than doing 2 damage per time, it now does 3 damage per time. And when it comes to the Sentry Champion, we're going to be using the bottom cross path today, which sounds very odd, but I guarantee you it's going to save our bacon later on. I'm talking about like round 98, where we need more pierce than damage. But I did think about doing this week's boss event on Spar Pierce, but then I remembered I don't know how to do boss events without that double cache mode activated. And here is our spike factory, close enough to this part of the track where spikes can hit Moa class balloons if the spikes are set to close, but not close enough so that the regular balloons get hit by them. Do you see where we're going with this? Here is what you call a big wave of yellow balloons. It only takes one of them to be the yellow balloon to end your entire existence, and quite possibly your PC as well, from personal experience. Here we go, round 15, no problem whatsoever with the pink balloons. We've got enough of a bulwark here in order to ensure that these lower rounds are well and truly sorted. I think some sentries would not go amiss here. So both the Sentry Champion's own pierce, including his sentries, along with the Sentry Champion's Champion Sentry explosive pierce, have also been given a pierce buff, which is pretty cool. It incentivizes you to, make a decision rather than going like, you know what, we're always going to go with larger surface area and deconstruction, because bonus damage against Moa class balloons and fortified balloons. Whereas this, it gives you a little bit of an option here. Do we go with more pierce, or do we go with more damage against certain types of balloons? Also, we're going to go up to long life spikes because we do want to build some kind of a wall at the back of the track so that then these heathens will not get through. Well, I'm hoping so anyways, because if we lose when we have a reliance on long life spikes or deadly spikes, or perma spikes for that matter, we have to restart the entire run because this game does not retain memory from previous rounds and the spikes that you put on it. And as a result, you'd have to restart the entire run to get the optimal strategy going. Not really cool whatsoever. This spot over here is our far targeting. Normal obviously just spreads them around. Close means that this spot is occupied. And smart at the very end of the track, which is what we're going to be using 99% of the time. See how we're chewing through all of these balloons while not even going with oversized nails still, but we still have a fair decent amount of pierce with our engineer so far. And now we're going to go up to deadly spikes, yes please, so that then A, we can get that extra damage, and B, they can last another round. These camo regrow greens will be the last things to die, so therefore it is nice to let the spike factory deal with them all. And yes, this thing can camo solo, which is pretty decent. You just need your other tower to be strong enough in order to deal with everything else. And I would like for these lead balloons to be somewhat weakened. Not all of them though. Some of them I'd like to still be a lead balloon, but not all of them, so that this has a chance of popping some of them. Or their insides, I mean. Yeah, then again, close, not close enough for them to be popped by regulars, but when it comes to Moas, their hitbox section will be big enough for them to then be popped. Lead balloons! Okay, we're going to go with Sentry Expert, and we're going to go with oversized nails and pin. Keep them pinned on the spot if they do survive. And now this thing can pop leads with its boom sentries. Also, I think cold sentries have been given a slight nerf towards its pierce cap, but nothing really to worry about. Round 40, and as you could tell, they were affected by those ones there, which is pretty cool. Camo purple balloons, no problem. We've got an unstoppable wall at the back of the track now. here, sorry. And it's very important to maintain a back line here, especially when it comes to like round 51 and any other round which has a good amount of camo ceramics, in which this is the only thing which can... Also this round as well, round 47. This is our only camo popper, so we need enough of a pile back here in order to deal with everything. Yes, sometimes when it comes to these rounds with fast camo balloons, the only thing that the Sentry Expert wants to produce are cold sentries, which is actually surprisingly good when it comes to the late game because of being able to freeze super ceramics is pretty ideal. But at the same time, for these earlier rounds, I think the AI thinks that it prioritizes trying to slow down a very fast target over actually just trying to destroy them and anything else on that round. Let's see, I need... There we go, that's popped, that Moab has popped, not even needing the deconstruction to take it down sooner, when we can just... Well, delay is popping actually, because, well, this thing can produce more spike piles at the end of the track. And here we go, round 51. This is a big test to see if we can do the round or not. We should be able to do, because of the fact that we haven't let a single balloon leak over here for some time. And that has managed to do it, whereas before it probably could just barely get through round 51. But nowadays, it can quite comfortably do so, as long as you let your other tower do all of the work, and have this thing prioritized to smart, and that smart being at the very back of the track here. Also, this delay is pretty nice as well. Pin is incredibly helpful as well, storing balloons just to get those extra few spike piles out. And we are very soon going to be having ourselves a Perma-Spike. Moab number 1 and Moab number 2. Once again, Moab number 1 and Moab number 2. Okay, round 55. We need some crushing sentries, please, for these ceramics. They are the best tools for the job when it comes to the... what the community calls the sexpert. You know, just put the S at the end of expert and you get the results from there. Oh gosh, look at all of them! Maybe I should have done some normal. But alas, we are there. Thank you for spawning that one Perma-Spike when I probably desperately needed it. Soon there will only be one type of spike on the track. The Perma-Spike. The deadly ones, they are not deadly enough. They need to be permanent. Even though they only last for 5 rounds or a set number of seconds. But imagine if Ninja Kiwi didn't put a limit as to how long this would last for, just endlessly until the spike piles themselves have been impacted by the balloons. Imagine the amount of lag your PC would have. Yeah, at the end of round 59 it prioritizes the boom sentry because there are only camo leads left, but since there's only a Moab class balloon, it prioritizes energy sentries because they do bonus damage against Moab class balloons. There we go, round 60 sorted. You're definitely going to notice that this is going to give the majority of the pops, but you're going to do some very, very important work, including DDTs. Here we go. They just make it to the end of the track, and they have 0 chance. Round 90 is the only round in a CHIMPS game, as far as I remember correctly, to only have camo balloons. So the Sentry Champion is going to be useless on round 90, and you, my friend, are going to get 100% of the pops on that round. Round 63 going down very well here, and when they're impacted by the cold sentry, it does give a permafrost effect to them, similar to the absolute 0, although that does map wide coverage of that permafrost when given the permafrost upgrade. In fact, that anything surviving will be permanently slowed down. I think shipwrecked would have been better, but I just couldn't think of it at the time. Yeah, go down plage. Boats, bats, magpies for DDTs. That's new to update 48. 2 BFBs go down quite easily to the Sentry Expert. Round 66 going down very well here. And because the majority of the time the balloons are going to be around this area anyways, you're able to make Not full use of the Sentry Champion's Champion Sentry explosions, when they self-detonate, but you make very good use of them. Okay, fortified camo regrow ceramics. Not a chance, even with the -5 pierce to the Perma-Spike, which, according to Ninja Kiwi in update 48, has remained unchanged, and they will do so for the next eternity of updates, stating that this has remained unchanged. Josh will be very happy. For those wondering where the 10 Paragons video will be coming out, do not worry, it will be the video after this one, but I just need something to churn me over for the time being so that I can dedicate an entire day into making the video by recording it and then editing it and then uploading it. Uploading is definitely going to be the shortest period of the entire process, as long as I have internet connection on my computer. But if you're seeing this video, that means my internet connection on this computer must be some sort of success. I hopefully will be going towards the Sentry Champion very soon, so that we can put a stop to these energy sentries, because they give me very, very uncomfortable vibes with their yellowness. Not because of the color itself, because it reminds me of the yellow balloon, which I always die to on the channel. Don't know what it is with my luck in yellow balloons, but it seems to be a meme on the channel. Pretty good one as well, actually. Get a lot of laughs. Someone was able to pull off a 2-tower chimps with Poseidon and Pat. Of all combinations, Pat is somehow doable with Poseidon on Polyphemus, the triple P. I'm not going to ask you 3 times, I will only ever ask you once. Please, if you are enjoying the video, then maybe consider liking, commenting and subscribing so that you can see videos like this in the future. Perhaps when we one day get to 100,000 subscribers, I will perform a horrific task of outlining every single time on the channel so far that I have died to a yellow balloon. I know, but it beats trying to do a base mortar 2 megapulse, let's just say that. Base being tier 2 or below. Round 75. Hopefully soon we'll be able to get ourselves the Sentry Champion. Probably on round 78, looking at all things considered. Maybe I should put some on normal, but you're just going to pop everything else other than trying to have something for round 76. I'm hoping that we can spawn something for round 76. Hopefully. Okay, that one's there, which is quite good. I need something for round 76, please. Okay, that's good. That's kind of good. Okay, it just means that we won't build a huge amount of regrowths to the point where it could actually remove our Perma-Spikes at the back of the map here. And we have the Sentry Champion online and ready to blow up. 78, and we just absolutely shred through all of those. I don't think the Perma-Spike did a single bit of work there, just because of how much pierce these Sentry Champion sentries have. The only thing I wish for is that the explosions from the Champion sentries are able to blow up camo balloons. Kind of like how Gwen's abilities are able to like damage camo balloons even if Gwen herself cannot, or like how Spike Factories by default can pop camo balloons despite the fact that the Spike Factories themselves do not give off camo sections, so therefore your advanced intel submarines cannot rely on Spike Factories for camo detection. And there goes the last fortified BFB of the round. Okay, round 80. Okay, so against a single round like round 80, we would benefit more from deconstruction. But on rounds like round 98, we're going to benefit a lot more from the oversized nails in particular, but pin is still very nice. Now we're going to fare against these stacked together BFBs very well. Again, this has not done a single bit of work in the late game so far. Like round 80, round 81, and also this round. I think the next round is going to pop something is on round 90. Definitely a reoccurring tower on the channel, the Sentry Champion, but it's just one of my favorite towers in the entire game. It's just a monkey who just knows how to produce some truly explosive scenarios with these champion sentries. It's just the fact that it does have a weakness to purple balloons, but the nail gun from the engineer can circumvent that weakness, sort of. 85 with 2 ZOMGs. Have you ever seen a tortoise wearing a top hat? Well, now you have. There we go. There they go down as well. Brilliant. Round 86. Nothing but fortified targets. 86 and 97 have something in common. They are rounds which only consist of fortified balloons. 87 going down very well here, and the champion sentry explosives are also brilliant as well. If the sentry explosions can more or less happen over here, then we can get the maximum benefit out of the explosions, but up here is still pretty good. But going with the bottom cross path is also a very good way of minimizing the spread of the sentries that spawn down, so that then you have more control over where they are summoning down, rather than sometimes feel like spawning miles away from the track. Oh yeah, and 89 also consists of only fortified balloons as well. Pretty neat. Okay, you are definitely going to put in some work here, dear Perma-Spike. This is what you are destined to be. Our DDT popper, our camo popper, our, well, everything popper. 91, a huge amount of BFBs here. Still getting out-pierced, but still doing quite a comfortable job. That is something that the other Sentry Champion would not be able to do. Ninja Kiwi are definitely trying to think of ways so that you would have a choice as to which cross pathing you are going to go for, rather than just going for an obvious choice. You have to sit there and really think about it, because you can only have one tier 5 of a particular cross pathing. So in this case, you have to think very carefully. Do I go for more pierce and also utility with pin, or do I go with more damage and range, or damage against certain targets, but obviously losing out on that additional pierce? So a bit of a topsy-turvy sort of thing really, but it gets you thinking, and I like that. I like the fact that Ninja Kiwi is trying to think of ways to make both cross paths viable, rather than just always sticking to one kind of thing. Although, if they somehow make a way of making the 502 farm very viable in comparison to 520, I would be very impressed. And there goes round 95, and yes, brilliant. You are definitely going to be useful for this run here, or this round I mean. But round 96 and 97, we're definitely going to need a bigger wall back here, because you're also going to do some work when it comes to round 98 and being able to soak up everything there. Please hold the line, Perma-Spikes. I need you. Yeah, I need the Sentry Champion to do as much work as possible. We need as many spike piles as possible at the end of the track. I mean, round 98, 99, 100 is definitely going to do a bit of work as well alongside the Sentry Champion, but this is just chaotic. But it's doing very well against it. Look at that. That's doing a lot of work. Okay, round 97. Definitely going to ensure that the Sentry Champion does as much work as possible. We do not want to put this thing on any other targeting right about now. You're going to stay on that smart, and hopefully you don't accidentally damage any of these ZMGs because of your spikes not landing in your destination. Okay, they're going down to fortified BFBs. That's very good, very good. Gonna put one of them on last just to give it initial. But it didn't really last that long. Okay, deconstruction, I am really missing out for that bonus fortified damage and bonus Moab damage. But here we go, round 98. This is the big round. Gonna set those few on last and some of these on first. But this is definitely the round in which it's going to decide if we're going to be able to do this or not. And for some odd reason, I think some of these Moabs have been hit, which is not good. but maybe that's just a hallucination of mine. But this is going down very well here. We need these ZMGs to kind of survive for as long as possible so that we can get more spikes down. And oh, I wish some of those were still BFBs, to be honest, because this is needed to tank all of these. Oh my god, look at that. Okay, round 99, put you on close so that you only hit these DDTs when they get to this point. Oh, we're gonna need you back on smart. Need to survive. Come on. Need to survive. Oh my gosh, that's only a few left. Okay, round 100. Okay, I'm gonna prioritize you now back on smart because we've got a few piles here now because you're not gonna be able to do all of the work here, Sentry Champion. Okay, a very risky run, but it's definitely what you call a doable run on your first try. But it's just takes a little bit of fettling, to be honest. A little bit. We need as many spike piles to appear as possible, but oh gosh, maybe put you on far actually. Okay, hopefully that does it, but that's still not enough at the back of a map to be comfortable with, although I'm just glad you're very slow. Okay, it's do or die here. We need to do as much damage as possible against these. If we're not going to be able to do this, then it's pretty much game, set, and done, to be honest. Okay. I need you all to hold out. I need you. Oh, thank goodness I just did that last sentry explosion there. Thank goodness for that. So, a deathless 2-tower chimps. But it is a very finicky one to do that I would not recommend to newer players who are starting out in 2-tower chimps sort of thing. This is definitely a very situational 2TC. It's one where your placements are incredibly important, especially your Perma-Spike, so it's able to cover sort of the beginning and middle of the map, but definitely the end of the map. But it just needs that little bit of coverage, which this spot definitely has. Okay, Sentry Champion, 1.862 million pops, and Perma-Spike, only 175,000 pops, but all of those were camos and some more. So, definitely utility in both towers, but there's definitely good in going with the additional pierce route, rather than just always thinking about damage, thinking about how many balloons you can go through. And we nearly have 100k in the back there, so that is pretty cool. Pretty cool if you say so myself. Thank you all so much for watching, everybody. Let me know what you thought of the video down in the comment sections below. And in the next video after this, 10 paragons at level 100 with no cooperation from other players. Thank you all so much for watching. If you are looking to get the new prestigious pack, which has the She-Ra related shenanigans, then please, by all means, if I'm able to get there and not looking at the original 151 Pokemon in the form of the number of achievements in this game, use my creator support code, and I'm thoroughly appreciative of each and every single one of you that has done that so far, but it's entirely optional. Thank you all so much for watching, everybody, and take care of yourselves.